that there is my washing basket. I need to hang my washing out. So, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I prep my breakfast, what I'm having for breakfast, talking you through my breakfast, why it is the way it is, and everything in between. So I'm going to show you how not complicated it all is, where I get things from, you know, the nutrients involved, how my morning's been, what I'm doing today. I'm just going to talk to you about everything that's going on. So, let's get straight into it then. For breakfast today, I've been having eggs consistently now for a fair few months. I normally have a bit of meat there as well, so I've got bacon. I get all my animal products from the butchers down the road. Love the butchers. I've also got, so I'm on a bit of a low carb diet at the moment, so mainly getting all my calories from fats and protein. This here is a watermelon. This is quite literally simple carbs. No harm done. This is, you know, full of vitamins, very good for hydration purposes, some minerals in there. Just a good quality watermelon. I got this from the butchers as well because they get nice ones in from Spain. I mean, you can see the colour on it. It's a nice, nutritious looking fruit. I love watermelon. So I'm going to get the pan on now. I'll show you how, I thought that was about to roll off the side then. So yeah, I cook in butter primarily. Sometimes I use coconut fat, but butter is my main go-to. Although dairy isn't great for my skin, I do find that it makes the food taste nice, and obviously it's very high in calories. So yeah, that's the amount I'm using. I'm actually done with this packet of butter now, so I'm just going to use the last little bit. So it's a lot of butter. You know, most people wouldn't use that amount. They probably have about half of that, but I'm in a calorie surplus. I'm trying to bulk, so I want the calories, right? Obviously, tracking all of this is great. Had I have weighed that butter, I'd know exactly how many calories is in there. To me, it looks like 25 grams, which is about 200 calories. Awesome. So, I'm going to cook the bacon first in the butter, and then take this out and put it on a plate to cool down. And then I'll put the eggs in that same pan. Eggs go in the same pan, cooking all that butter fat, all that bacon fat. And I'm going to crank this heat up a little bit because we ain't got all day. And that's going to flavour the eggs. I'll also put the bacon into the scrambled eggs at the end so that it's just easier to eat. You know, it's literally just like a bowl of scrambled eggs with cut up bacon in it. You really can't beat it. I bought myself another jar of honey today because my jar up here is running out and I go through quite a bit of honey, so I don't really want to run out midweek. So yeah, that butter's just melting down now. As I say, guys, high fat, high protein diet. That bacon in there. I prefer smoked bacon, simply for the taste. But of course, these pigs come from much higher welfare sources. They've literally come from Norfolk, which is where I live. Local farms that look after their animals and don't pen them in close together, where, you know, diseases breed, so they've got to use a lot of antibiotics and, you know, all sorts of just nasty medicines and stuff you don't want in your meat. Of course, they'll still use it. You really can't get meat nowadays that hasn't been treated with this, that, the other, which is unfortunate. However, if you aren't buying from factory farms, which I don't, then the meat you are buying is of a higher quality, better looked after, more pedigree animals that aren't just fast reared for quick results and quick profits. You don't want animals that have been reared for profit. You want animals that have been reared for food. You know, I think there is a difference there. You can taste the difference. If an animal hasn't been raised correctly and it hasn't had a nice high welfare, the actual quality of the meat. Where I work, I'm a waiter, right? So I see a lot of food as it's being prepped. This bacon here, if you look, I'll show you. It doesn't, like, when I'm pulling it, right, it's nice and firm. Okay, this bit here is just starting to pull apart there, right? So that's fairly firm. The stuff at work, I can only assume they don't buy local because it's a massive corporation. I'm just going to wash my hands while I'm talking. So they don't buy local, right? They buy from big wholesalers, big producers, and when that bacon goes in the trays to be cooked, it looks naff. Like, it falls apart a bit. You know, those pigs have probably been quite sad, put through some pretty shit conditions, and so the quality of the meat comes out worse and also less nutrient dense because, of course, if the animal hasn't had a high quality life, you know, more space to roam and eat what it would naturally, so like just plants and bugs and whatever else the hell the pig would find, like apples, things like that. if they don't get the freedom to eat those high quality foods and they're just getting fed loads of corn and soy and all that stuff just to bulk them up and make a quick profit, those ones that are grown more intensively do have reduced nutrients, reduced health of the animals, and therefore reduced health of the person consuming them. So we want to aim to get our meat and such where we can from better sources. Now, I'm no means saying I'm perfect. So at the start of the video, I'd introduced it and said I get my animal products from the butchers. Absolutely true. All my eggs, all my meat, every time I can. This here is some cheese from Aldi, right? I'm not saying I'm perfect. The cheese at the butchers is great. It's just a bit expensive. Like, for about half of the amount, it's double the price. So, you know, you've got to make it realistic, right? I'm not telling you go out and spend £200 a week on food, which you could easily do if you wanted to. Don't do it. Just you know, live within your means, but try and get the quality where you can locally, right? Because local food, local produce, can't beat it, so join it, right? Anyway, that bacon's now cooking in there. I'm going to crank up the heat a little bit because, again, we don't have all day. Yeah, so bacon is, of course, high in fat-soluble vitamins like B vitamins. You've got, of course, just protein and fats in there. It's just good macros. Of course, you've got your micronutrients in there, which we can focus on. But at the end of the day, if you know you're getting your macros and you're getting them from a whole food source, you are probably covering a lot of those micronutrients without having to worry too much. I'll talk you through what I have eaten so far today and what I will continue to eat. So I woke up quite late today. I slept in longer than I should have, but I was tired. I had a 11-hour shift yesterday. So I woke up at about 8:45, had a cold shower, got myself ready, had a cup of coffee with a big spoon of honey in it, and I also had a mango. I bought myself some very nice mangoes this week. I don't regularly buy mangoes. I normally just buy berries and stuff. But yeah, I bought some really nice Waitrose mangoes. They were bloody delicious. And of course, mangoes are high in like beneficial plant compounds, carbohydrates, fiber, vitamins and minerals, vitamin C especially. So I had my mango and my coffee. I went to the gym. I had a very intense back session. When I train back, the main compound I'm working on, so I don't really do many, I do rows, but my main one is pull-ups. So I start with 10 minutes on the rowing machine to warm up. I do some arm swings just to warm my joints up. I also do, I don't know what these are called, but I'll just come out here. So you rotate, just your arms up and down, pronate and supinate your wrists. Well, it's actually your whole system here that you're pronating and supinating. But yeah, you do that, and it warms up your joints so that you don't, pull anything or just any unnecessary friction, because you've got capsules in here that lubricate the joints the more you move them. And of course, having lubricated joints is important, because if there's not lubrication, you've got friction, and that's then going to damage your bones. So we lubricated up the joints. We did some pull-ups. I just start with body weight and then I weight them. So I'm working with 10 kilos at the moment, from anywhere between 3 to 5 reps. And I'm trying at the moment to really focus on the eccentric part. So I'm going down as slow as possible and then powering the way up. And if I can't get the way up, I can stand on where the rack is, and I'll sort of jump up to it and then let myself down again for that last rep, because the eccentric bit is where you can build that muscle and build that strength for the next session. So yeah, I followed up the pull-ups with, I'm just going to keep talking about, how my training and stuff went while this is cooking, and then I'll obviously show you the end result. I'll probably put the end result in the thumbnail. I'm not sure if this video will continue on long enough till when this is done, but we'll see. So I followed that up with, what was the next exercise I did after that? Yeah, it was cable rows. So I went to the cable machine, I sat down. Normally I rack on 50 and I just do them like this, but as I say, I'm now focusing on slowing down the movement. So I put it on 35 and I did a set of 10, literally, we're talking like this speed, right? Go all the way in and then all the way back like that. And then I did some single arm ones, and then I also did, I did a set of these slowly, and then I did a set single arm slowly, and then I did a set wide incredibly slowly. And that wide set, I think I must have done about 25 reps, because I put it really light, and all I was focusing on is just really slow, trying to engage my lats and try and engage my mid back, just for simply just to build the muscle connection there, so that I can recruit more fibers the next time I do my pull-ups. I followed that with, so I did arms after that. So I hit some bicep curls. I did about 3 sets. 4 sets. So I did 1 set just regular curls, so with dumbbells, 1 set hammer curls with dumbbells, and then 2 sets of really slowed down barbell. Actually use the easy bar. So obviously you curl up and then really, really slow, thinking about your bicep, thinking about the muscles, stretching and then contracting. I did 2 sets of those and finished off with some, so you can do these for your wrists, and I also do behind the wrists as well. And then I finished that off with farmer's carries, and that was just for more core stability. So that's how I trained today. Obviously I did a cool down, I did 5 minutes of stretching. I know you're supposed to cool down with like the rowing machine and stuff. I can incorporate that in my next session. I just wanted to stretch because by the time I trained, all I've had obviously this morning is just some fruit and some coffee. So I was getting hungry, right? I'm thinking, yeah, I want some protein, I'm hungry. Should I go to the butcher's, get some more supplies, and then come back and do a video? This isn't scripted, by the way. I think I'm gonna try and post again today. See how my day goes though. I've got bits here and there I would like to do. As I say, the washing's there. I'm going to do that after I've eaten. So, yeah, I will probably be posting another video today. See how we get on. Once this bacon's done, I'm going to put this in the bowl. Sure, I'm going to be cutting my watermelon while I'm talking to you. So, the bacon will go in the bowl. I've got 9 eggs. Yeah, so anything between 1 and 4 eggs, very healthful. Once you're getting past 6 eggs, that is a lot of fat, especially when you're cooking it in butter and you've got your bacon and stuff. If you have a lot of cholesterol in your diet, right, so if you're eating a lot of cholesterol, that hasn't been directly linked to blood cholesterol, right? So if you're consuming eggs, like a lot of eggs, like I'm having 9, right, there's a lot of cholesterol in there. If you're having all that and you're healthful, you sleep right, you train, you know, your body uses that cholesterol that you eat to build your hormones. Obviously, so endocrine health is related to all the health in your body. There's a lot of systems going on. So you want to be able to fuel your body in every way you can. Eggs are very nutrient dense. They contain every nutrient under the sun, excluding vitamin C, which of course you can get from your fruit and your veg. I'm mainly getting mine from fruit currently. I'm not having a lot of veg. So yeah. Obviously, you know, some doctors will tell you don't have more than like 1 or 2 eggs a day. Personally, in my opinion, I don't think it's that deep. I think if you want to have 10 eggs a day, like sometimes I even had 12. Of course, I'm trying to bulk, right, and I'm doing it clean. I'm not eating processed shit. I'm literally having whole foods, high protein, high fat, right? So eggs for me, I'm thinking, yeah, high in vitamins, high in minerals, high in protein, high in fat. What more do you want, right? So I've got my 9 eggs. I'm not telling you to go and have 9 eggs. I'm not a doctor. However, from my own research and my own understanding, in my opinion, I think eggs, and even in this quantity, cannot hurt. They're brilliant for you. Great for health, great for nutrition purposes, great for sports performance, the list goes on. So we've got our melon here. I'm absolutely going to chop this boy up. Yeah, I've got the cheese here as well, so high in fat. Again, that's pasteurised, it's gone through some processing. Those cows from Aldi probably aren't as well kept and grass-fed as the cows elsewhere. So that cheese isn't going to be the bee's knees. But, you know, we are on a budget, shall we say. Like, I don't work every hour under the sun. I give myself a fair bit of free time just to do my projects and this, that, the other. So, you know, the cheap cheese won't kill me. I'll put it like that. Of course, I would love to be able to get myself some of the... I'm going to turn this down now and get these bits of bacon out. Some of the nicer cheese. Ooh, that is slightly overcooked. Just going to say quickly, guys, don't overcook your bacon like this. Don't do that. So if you're recording a video and you're cooking bacon, actually keep an eye on it instead of watching yourself in the camera. No, honestly, it's not actually that burnt. It'll be all right. That's quite crispy. I don't like it fatty. I mean, you know, I'm not fussy, but I don't like my bacon fatty. Anyway... So I'm going to move that to the side so I don't get any raw egg on it. I've never actually tried raw egg. I know some people do, like they have it, just beat it up and then drink it raw. I think that's pretty grim, in my opinion. Of course, the heat could damage some vitamins, and you know you can argue that. But honestly, that's quite extreme. I've never gone out of my way to have a raw egg. I just think that's a bit grim, in my opinion. You know, of course, if you want to have raw eggs, I'm not stopping you because sure there's benefits to it, but it's not a bit of me. So yeah, we've got our eggs going in the pan now. While these eggs are cooking up, I'm going to show you what seasoning I use. Not only just for taste purposes, but also I find that the seasonings I am using are healthful. They've got beneficial compounds in them. And again, they improve the taste of the food so you can eat more. Don't eat like... Okay, when I started, right, I was 17, yeah? And I actually decided going vegan would be a good idea. Don't do that, pretty cringe. Anyway, so I was vegan and I came home from work one day. Where was I working at the time? I think I was working at Subway. Yeah, don't work at Subway either. Come on, guys. You know what? No, I'll take that back. If you haven't had a job before, or it's one of your first jobs, don't think something's beneath you, because you need that life experience, right? And that's the washing machine just finishing up. Yeah, so don't be like, oh, I'm not working at Subway because I'm better than that. You're actually not. You're 17, so you need that experience. Anyway, I was working at Subway. I came home one day, and I was hungry, and I thought, right, I need protein, and I need carbs, and I need fat. So what did I do? I had a bowl of beans, like, I don't know if it was Heinz beans or just like baked beans, right? And a packet of rice. And I sat there for about 40 minutes just eating this, like just force feeding myself. And I force feed myself all the time because I eat big portions and I get full and I have to keep eating so I actually get enough calories in to be putting a lot of weight on. Well, not a lot of weight because you don't want to put on too much weight at once, but you know what I mean. So when you're bulking, you'll understand that eating can be difficult. You're there, you're not necessarily hungry, you've already eaten a lot that day and you've just got to force feed the food in. When the food tastes better, you know, when it's high in fat and you can taste the fat and the fat tastes good, or things like cheese and stuff like that, when it tastes good, it's easier to eat more. And when you're eating a lot of food, it's going to really help you to have it taste nice so that you can keep up with the amount you would like to eat. Otherwise, what you're going to deal with is you just sat there force feeding food that tastes horrible. You might not be able to finish your portion because it just don't taste good, and then you haven't got your calories in, and so you're behind. So you don't want that. Those eggs are now in the pan, all 9. I'll show you the aftermath. Yeah, great. So I'm going to quickly rinse my hands again because I've got egg white on them. I don't want this video to go on too long, but I do want to give as much value as I can. See what else I can talk about before we go. Yeah, so we're going to do the seasoning now. These eggs are just, they'll take a minute to cook. You know, I've got the pan on a low heat. All I do is I just put them all in the pan. Because the pan's already warm, the whites start to cook. So the scrambled eggs don't always look great because there's bits of big white in there floating around. So, you know, they don't look the most appetizing thing in the world, but I think they're nicer scrambled than they are fried. Obviously, you're frying them to scramble them, but in my opinion, that's just how I like them. There's no skill involved, very easy. I quite like a bit of pepper, that's what that is. I know pepper's got, I believe the active compound's called piperine. Don't hold me to that, that could be some terrible pronunciation. However, I'm sure that's good for you. We've got some salt here, electrolyte, sodium. That helps your body hold on to water and just general bodily functions. You need salt in your diet. So we've got some mixed herbs here, beneficial plant compounds. These ones I believe are just Tesco's own. I actually grow my own herbs, but I haven't got many on the go at the moment. At home at least. Should really go pick some. Bit of nutmeg in there, again, plant compounds. And oh, we're nearly out of ginger. Crazy. Can't believe how much ginger I've gone through. So yeah, I've got some ginger here. I've been adding ginger to all of my food, like everything I'm cooking, even if it doesn't necessarily belong in there. So like, if I make spaghetti, well, no. At the moment, because I'm not on, not having a lot of carbs, what I do is to get my mince, I literally just cook up the mince in with pasta sauce and just have it like that with a bit of cheese on top. So when I do my bolognese sauce, I put ginger in there as well. Ginger doesn't necessarily belong in bolognese, however, you can't really taste it. It's alright. So I'm going to put that seasoning... Oh, almost forgot. I either use chili flakes or I've also got this... it's actually in this. I haven't read this for a little while. Oh, goodness. So it's important, guys, to read the ingredients in the food you use. So this here is not a whole food. This is Encona Spice Your Life 1975 West Indian Original Hot Pepper Sauce, of which there's about 20 ingredients. Anyway, yeah, you got modified maize starch, xanthan gum. Don't really want that shit today. That sauce is really nice, mind you, and it, you know, of course, there's chili peppers in there which are beneficial for your health, but there's also additives you don't want. So I'm going to go for the chili flakes again today. You know, I mix it up. Sometimes I have the chili flakes, sometimes I have that processed shit. It really depends, but I have quite a lot of chili flakes. I quite like spicy. I don't like it when it's too hot, mind you, but some degree of chili is good for you. It's good for digestion. Obviously, if you have too much, then you'll probably give yourself the shits. So gauge it on how Caucasian you are. I'm like, fuck it, I'm white. I really don't care if I offend anyone by saying that. I'm quite pale. You can't really tell. But I'm quite pale, so on paper, my food should be quite bland. However, I like seasoning. I don't mind chili. I just can't handle like a lot of it. But a good pinch of chili flakes goes a long way. So those eggs are now cooking. They're probably about half done. That melon is now looking very, very delectable. So, I can't remember the last time I had a melon. It's been a little while. So I'm going to take the little sticker off. It's a Spanish melon. Espanol. I'm going to pop that on the plate now. I reckon I'll just half it, and then eat those 8s. Well, I'm not going to eat the whole thing, but I'll have a good bit of it. Come on then, watermelon, let's see what you got. Where's the knives? I used a good knife this morning to cut the mango. I'm gonna oh, is that the dishwasher? Oh, the dishwasher's done. Yeah. Oh, and I can't see from my glasses. Take those off. Right. Look at that. One hell of a knife. Yeah, no, so if you open the dishwasher up with glasses on, you then won't be able to see. So, do bear that in mind. Alright then. You know what, I'm going to give this knife a rinse just in case there's any detergent left on it. Honestly, guys, when I try and wash, like, this iron pan that you can see my eggs cooking in here, I'm the only person in the house that uses this. I bought this myself. All the things I cook in here always stick to the bottom, and I'm very happy about that. It's a bastard to clean, especially when you don't use much washing detergent. I literally, if I need it and it ain't coming off, I'll use a little bit of fairy liquid. But other than that, I just try not to, and I just cope, because you don't want that stuff. I've read that it can hurt your microbiome, obviously because it's, you know, it kills bacteria. You don't want to kill the beneficial bacteria in your stomach, because they help with bodily functions. So everything sticks to the bottom of this. It also, because it's cast, it does add iron content. I don't think it's a crazy amount, but I think it does add iron to your food. Instead of if you had Teflon, which is non-stick, that just adds carcinogens to your food. So, you know, try and make those smarter cooking utensil decisions where you can. Anyway, I'm gonna show you this melon. Get cracking in. Let's have a look, shall we? Gosh, look at that. Right, yeah, now the knife I've selected is more like a saw, so it should just go straight through. There we go. Oh, mate, that looks mint. Lovely. Look at that. Right then, so I'm gonna go this way into a quarter. So I'm gonna eat a quarter. Yeah, I reckon this will probably last me till we're on, today's Monday, so I reckon Wednesday. Here's our melon, guys. Delicious. I'm gonna pop that there on the side. The rest of this can go in the fridge. I'm not sure whether I should wrap it or not. I don't really want to put any tin foil on it. Well, that sounds like it's cooking a little bit. Yeah, I'm just debating how I'm storing that. I don't really want to wrap it, to be honest. I think it'll be alright if I just leave it like that. Or I could, if I eat half of it, that's a bit fat, but then I've only got to store that half till tomorrow. Or again, if I don't eat half of it, then I'll have more which lasts me longer. Decisions, guys. This is as far as my life dilemmas extend. I'm very grateful for that. So I'm going to cut the bacon up now while I dwell on what on earth I'm going to do with the watermelon. That's pretty cringe. Ignore that. Anyway, cut my bacon in now. Getting my calories in. Yeah, so here, so every egg, I believe a medium-sized egg, or it could be a large egg actually, I think it's large. A large egg, of which these are fairly large, decent sized, contains 78 calories and about 6 grams of protein. So obviously we've got 9 here, so 9 times... it's probably about 700 calories, and with the butter and the bacon pushes it to about 1.3, 1.4 calories. Oh, and the cheese is going in there as well. So now we're looking at about 1.5 thousand calories just on my second meal. You cannot complain, that's pretty decent. Again, whole food sources, eggs, meat, fruit, can't beat it. Cheese, one ingredient. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this cheese up and bang that in there, give it a little mix. Those eggs look fairly done now, I've taken them off the heat. I'm gonna cut that watermelon up. A 26-minute video. I hope you found it informative. If you have sat through, don't use the knife that you used to crack the eggs, because that's a quick fire way to get salmonella. Yeah, so I'm gonna cut this cheese up. I'll show you the amount I'm using because, you know, this is a source of more calories for me. As I say, guys, I'm trying to put the weight on at the moment because, as you can see, I'm fairly lean, fairly skinny, and I want to build some nice muscles. And you've got to get a little bit fat to do so. I'm around anywhere between 7 and 10% body fat. I know that's a bit of a range there, but I'm pretty lean. I don't know if you can't really see my arms, or I'm not really gonna. Well, I mean, I can show my belly, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm fairly lean, right? But I mean, the lighting's not great here, so exclude that. But yeah, I'm just trying to get my body fat up by eating a lot of calories, and of course I'll be building muscle in doing so. And then over time, you can't actually convert. So this is something I hear people talk about. Oh, and we've just got a little battery warning there. You can't convert fat to muscle. You can burn fat and build muscle, but you can't change fat tissue into muscle tissue. That's just not how anatomy works. But yeah, if you want to build a lot of muscle, bulking is the surefire way of doing it. If you try and stay lean and build muscle, your body's just not going to function optimally. When you've got a bit of fat on you, you have better hormone health, of course, which is then going to embody itself into better physical health, you know? Anyway, that melon now, I'm going to I'll saw it again on this plate. I'll saw it again, and then... yeah, thing is, when I try and cook and talk to you guys, I feel like I get distracted in my thoughts and I'm not actually cooking as effectively as I could be. So next time I do this, I'm going to really focus on cooking at the same rate that I speak. If I did that, that would just be awesome. I'd have already finished eating. But yeah, so I've got my melon here. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to eat it like that. I can't really bother to cut it out. I'll still eat it, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to pop that in there. There's my melon. Splendid. Okay, eggs and bacon are out now about done. I say about done, they are done. So I'll pop this in here. We're just about to get to the 30-minute mark. I'm hoping I can plate this up, show you guys, and call it a day around there. Oh, I didn't get any milk today. I was going to buy some, at the butchers they sell raw milk, so unpasteurised, and that can be pretty good. It's high in calories. I was going to get some of that just so I could drink it throughout the day, but I didn't. So I have to go get some probably on Wednesday now. I've got work this evening, so I'll be getting most of my food in before I go in because, well, you know, bulking. I need to get all the food in there. Right, so that there is, and again guys, this is not like a gourmet meal. It's not going to look appetizing, but it's nutritional. I need to clean up. The main issue I have with cooking is the fact that I'm very messy. Like I just make a mess. I've got stuff here, rubbish here, that there, this here. But I just make a bit of a mess when I do it, which isn't great, I must admit. You know, try and tidy as you go. I must admit, when I'm not waffling, talking to a camera, I do tend to be a bit more tidy, but I'm still messy. For me to tell you guys that, oh yeah, when I'm not on camera, I'm super tidy, and that's a lie. That's an utter lie. There's no way. I'm still well messy when I cook. I'm just going to pop this in the fridge like this. I think it'll be fine. No flies can get in there, so, you know, I'm not too concerned about this. I mean, I'll eat it within the next 2 days anyway, so that'll be fine in there like that. Yeah, there's no flies in there. Alright guys, so I'll show you my breakfast now. We got some eggs and bacons. That's going to be really nice. Sometimes I have ketchup with that. Today we're not going to have any ketchup. We've got a watermelon, that'll do. So yeah, I hope you found this informative and or helpful. This is what I'm eating. Oh, I said I was going to talk to you about what I'm having the rest of the day. Alright, so we've got our 9 eggs, 3 bits of bacon, quarter of a watermelon. So that's breakfast. Well, that's actually our second breakfast. First breakfast was, of course, the coffee and the mango that I've already mentioned, which isn't really breakfast, but you know what I mean. And then lunch will be 150, 200 grams of nuts, and probably some dried blueberries as well. Dried fruit isn't as quality as fresh fruit. Oh, do you know what? No. I'm going to go to my allotment this afternoon, and I'm going to pick some fresh fruit. I've got fresh blueberries growing down there. If I've got enough, I'll do a video on that, but that'll probably only be a handful because some of the bushes haven't really been fruiting. Well, like they start fruiting in the summer, and the production dwindles off as the plants finish. So I'll have some fruit and nuts for lunch, and then for dinner, I'm going to have a bolognese sauce with beef. I'll probably have about 500, 600 grams of beef, and yeah, in a sauce with tomatoes, onions. I've got some organic onions in the fridge, and I've also got tomatoes that I've grown myself that are also ready to harvest. So I'll harvest my tomatoes, and that'll be dinner. And then I might have some food at work. Normally, like, the only thing we can have at work, really, well, no, that's such a lie. The only thing that's healthful at work is they do, like, small rump steaks that the staff can have. So I might have a rump steak at work as well. It's a lot of beef, mind you. That's like, yeah, about, including the beef I'll be having for dinner while I'm home, be about 700, 800 grams of beef, which is a lot, but calories, lean protein, fat. So, oh yeah, iron, of course, you know, there's B vitamins in there as well. Can't forget your B vitamins. But yeah, guys, so here's breakfast. Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching. That is my day's eating, and I'll catch you in the next one.